Hello and welcome to InSight. I'm Wendy Brokaw.
And I'm Mary Louise Van Atta.
Let's talk about your vote. Does it really count? Who else to talk about that better than the League of Women Voters? We have two members of the local League of Women Voters with us today to tell us all about your vote and whether it counts and how to make sure it counts. Welcome Deanie Anderson and Peter Anderson, husband and wife, who are members of the local League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk County. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure.
Well, we just had an election, or by the time we see this, we will have had the election. And tell us, do people turn out to vote anymore? What do you think about people and taking their vote seriously?
I would say that there's two big aims in League of Women Voters, whether it's national, state, or local areas, and that is one, to have an educated populace. So we're devoted to making sure the information, unbiased, and all sides is represented. That's the first step. Mm-hmm. People need to feel confident that they know what they're voting upon.
Sure.
And secondly, then, to make sure that all the obstacles to voting are removed so that they have an easy time of it, they feel comfortable and confident when they go to vote or mail in their ballots. And I think that Oregonians don't realize that we have it easier than so many other states. And so therefore our local leagues don't have to go stand at the polls or monitor those. However, we do monitor all of the county election officers and make sure that we understand the process and have a set of questions that we interview the election officers, county clerks. So there's a lot to monitor, and I don't think our voters realize how much there is.
Can I roll you back for a second and start at the beginning? First of all, can you give me a League of Voters 101, Women Voters 101? And then I'm very suspicious that we have a man here in the League of Women Voters, so you're going to have to tell me how that all came about. And maybe in a sentence or two, especially for folks that are watching that hear League of Women Voters but don't really know what they do, maybe explain that to me.
Certainly. It's a very old institution. If you look nationally, that we're in a few years going to be celebrating 100th anniversary.
Oh my.
Locally, statewide, it's about 75 with some interruptions for the war. And we have, as I said, two missions, education and advocacy. Okay. And so the League is open to all people, all citizens, and all people includes men. And we have officers on all levels of our boards that are men, and we have some youth programs through mock election. So the League of Women Voters' big drive is to have an educated populace, and then we do studies on issues so that we have, and those come through consensus. They come through all the members, and we come to an agreement on how we feel about an issue. Last year was agriculture. And then the other arm of the League can go to city councils, county commissioners, and we have a position that we can say, this is what we think would be good based on our position.
Cool.
So there are two things.
Two different arms. So I understand that we're going to get to see a video, is that right, that's been done by
the National League of Women Voters. I'd like us to take a look at that because it shows the face of the National League and members, and you might be surprised. Let's take a look at that.
Right.
How amazing that the spirit of the suffrage movement and the shock of the First World War came this great idea that a nonpartisan civic organization could provide the tools that the public needed to advance our democracy.
A wise League leader once said that the success of democracy doesn't depend on a few persons who do great things, but on many persons who do small things faithfully.
I'm Jacqueline Achang from the state of Oklahoma.
My name is Alexandra Dixon.
I'm Jeanette Roveri.
So my name is Sharon.
I'm Andrea Kaminsky.
I'm Barbara Zia.
My name is Ernestine Moss.
I'm Diane Habino, president of the League of Women Voters of Nebraska.
I'm George Brown.
I'm Dare Thompson.
I am Stacy Depner-Hovey.
My name is Faye Williams, and I'm a member of the Indianapolis League of Women Voters.
Wow.
Wow. That was amazing. We should have one like that for us locally. We should do something like that.
That would be good.
How did you get involved with the league? What really did you enjoy participating yourself?
Well, I got involved by listening to some of the studies that they did, and one of the ones that was most significant was the one they did on climate change. And that was just an amazing amount of information that they put together to discuss all sides of climate change. There's so much that can be learned from the League. There are so many of these studies that are just chock full of different types of data that are just great to look at. And you can make decisions too based on some of the positions that they take. And you can actually become involved in your legislature or lobbying and for positions that the League takes.
And you can be assured that that information is not biased. How do you ensure that?
You form a committee that is of all of the players, and that's all of the players, such as with the water one, they involved tribal people, they involved agency people, they involved farmers, any of the relevant players, and they make a very big concerted effort. And then when they have a section done, they'll send it to both sides or multiple sides as the situation fits. And then they take that information and put it back in, and then they check it. Complaint sometimes is the League takes longer to do things than maybe other groups, but this is so critical that it will have had many readers and many editings and to be very sure.
And so, and all the stakeholders in it, which represent a variety of groups, feel that they've been heard as well.
That's correct. That's correct.
Both of you have a real passion for getting people involved in the election process, especially youth. I understand that from mock elections, and concerns about what I understood is the disenfranchised voter, someone that doesn't feel like they're connected to the process.
Youth is a constant element with League of Women Voters, and looking for ways to involve them and have them feel the strength that comes from their positions and their knowledge and their involvement. Mock election is just one of them. They're involved in voter registration. Coming up is a run in the park called Exercise Your Right to Vote, and that's being promoted by youth. We have internship program, we have scholarships for membership, and we're constantly looking for new ways. The national level has a youth commission, and a wonderful, vibrant group of young people, 25 and under, that are looking for ways to bring us better together and tap that energy.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, many people don't realize that if they don't vote, that's essentially a vote with the majority, and you really can't have a democracy that works if you don't register your opinions when when you have that opportunity to do that. How do you get that message across?
That's
Wonderful.
very, very, very important.
Well, how do we get in touch with you?
We have state and local access. Probably the easiest one for general questions and referrals is to go to the State League of Women Voters office, which is here in Salem, just off of 12th Street. And the website for that is pretty simple. It's lwvor.org. And the phone number is 503-581-5722. And you'll get one of two people in the office, and they will make sure your questions are directed to who can best respond.
Well, I know that CCTV has had a wonderful time over many years co-hosting League of Women Voter forums with the candidates, and that is something that I know that every time we participate in those, we get that strong feeling that we are doing something to bring unbiased, nonpartisan information to voters so that they feel themselves educated. And we appreciate the League and all that you do for voters in our community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for this
great.
opportunity.
Well, thank you
Yeah,
for joining us,
that was
Peter
really
and Dean.
cool.
We appreciate that.
We'll look
thank
forward
you.
to talking to you soon.
Yes,
I hope
and,
so.
And thank you for joining us today on InSight.
Bye.